Alright guys, Rad-I-Nation here, and I'm just going to do a quick little overview on a very cool way to set up your myDMX 3.0. I kind of show you, we'll kind of go step by step. For some of those that are more advanced and use Grand MA. This may kind of look familiar to you. Like I said, I'll go through all the steps and show you how I did what I did as soon as this loads. Alright, so I'm just going to start with a blank project real quick just to show you the basics of what we're trying to achieve. I'm just going to type in a simple, let's see, just RGB unit, maybe. I'll put 3 of these in here. I'm going to set them up like so. You know what, we'll just do 2. Alright. I know. This one's number 1, this one's number 2. I am weird when I set up my lights. I always start over here as unit 1, and then this is unit 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. That's always how I've done it. I know it's weird, and I'll do another video on the reason I set it up like that. Alright, so we got that. We'll just go into edit real quick. Group 1, we'll just make this, for example, say this is a PAR can, or just simple RGB PAR. So do PAR 1, which is going to signify PAR group 1. Then we're going to do PAR 2. Alright, now we're just going to... That's not lag that you're seeing on my mouse. I think the battery's about to die. Alright, so... let's duplicate it. No, I'm not going to duplicate that. Maybe I will. I don't know. Just go to general so I can see both here. Now, since there is no dimmer, we don't have to worry about that. This is just for quick setup basis, but actually I'm going to delete that and we'll duplicate it in just a second. Alright, so usually, I shouldn't say usually, anytime I start a new scene, or a new group I should say, the first scene I turn whatever fixtures I'm wanting to work with off, or I should say on, with these tabs down here as you can see. So this is going to be group 1, so actually I'm not going to worry about the second PAR. This is going to be group 2, so I'm not going to worry about the first PAR. You'll see why that is important in just a moment. Alright, so scene 1, we're just going to go simple, keep it simple. And then I'm going to name this Red 1. Yeah, that'll work. Then this one we'll do red, and you'll see why the naming is important in just a moment as well. And duplicate, and we're just going to do simple colors, guys, nothing crazy. Green. Excuse me. We're going to rename these right quick. So this is green. Green. this will be blue. Sorry. Dumb dog's barking once again. And this will be blue 1. Alright, so I did that right? Yeah. So, again, in our visualizer down here, I don't know why I was pointing at the screen. I'll just use my mouse. Down here on our visualizer, you can see, you know, each corresponding one is correct. Alright, and this is your live tab. And now we're going to go over show tab. This is where the fun begins. Alright, fun and confusing. And this is where I spend most of my time. I've been doing a baseline setup so that if, you know, a DJ calls me up, a band, a duo, or whatever, they call me up, I can basically pull this up and start from scratch. And I'm just doing 3 colors here. In just a moment, you'll see what I call my blank page. It's got all presets, head positions, dimmers. I'm not going to do dimmers chases. Yeah, I'm not going to do dimmer chases on it. I'll do, you know, head colors. You know, I got a par group 1, par group 2, the wash bars that wash the stage pretty much, or the members. I got VPARs, and then I got my new UV 12H bars. I got those as well. And I got all those broken into different groups. And I even took it a step farther and also did my Fog Furry Jet. I grouped it in with one of the groups. So whatever color that's on, when I hit the fog button, when I hit the command to go or click the button, it will do 2 things. It'll put the fog value at full, and it also put the dimmer at full, because on the Fog Furry Jet, the LEDs don't turn on, even if the dimmer is full. But what I do is I just go ahead and pre-program the color mix that I want, and when I hit the fire button for the fog to go, it will do the dimmer and the fog, and I have it so there's no fade time, so the dimmer won't fade in, and same with the fog, although there is really no fading in with the fog. Alright, so on here, on the screen here, it says, you know, click blah, 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 blah. If you've seen the screen before, you may know how to use it. So I'm going to go to Edit. This little box will appear. I'm just going to blow this up. All this box for is when you're on your tablet. Hit escape. Maybe. There we go. Alright, so if you see over here, you got scale 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's just how much of this page you will be able to see on your tablet. And that's going to just go off the screen resolution of your tablet itself. I've yet to play around with it with my new setup that I'm working on to see which resolution I like best. So let's blow this back up. I'm going to edit. I'm going to add a button. Alright, so I don't worry about custom names because we're just talking about colors today. And I always do my boxes at 1 by 1. Again, color I don't worry about. Text color don't worry about. But if you're going to just copy and paste all your boxes, go ahead and set everything up the way you want it. That way they're all uniform. And what we're going to do, this is where the fun part comes in. So path. Now, you can go in here and you can pull up an icon or a preset or whatnot and use that as your colors. But I went ahead and I learned this from Kristen Jackson, by the way. I went ahead and made color palettes. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't, I can't put 2 images on there, or I've yet to figure it out correctly how to do it. But I'll kind of show you a little, to make it, you know, an indicator, I should say. But what I did is I just went ahead and made all the colors that are pretty much used. So this is red. We're going to do red on. And all I did, this is a 26 by 26 pixel box that I just made in freaking paint. You can even use, I'm sure, like a 2x2 if you wanted for just a standard color. But to get that nice little ring around it, let me pop that image up real quick so you can kind of see it in here. An off button. See how there's a ring now around the box? Best done with a 26 by 26 is what I found best. Let me go back to red on. I also have these made because I'm slowly learning Grandma 2 on PC. We'll see how well that goes for me. Alright, so this one, fortunately, we don't have to do anything because the association with this button, if you click right here, you will see that this is par 1 on red. You always want to hit play and stop, because what that's going to do is when you click it, it's going to play it. When you click it, it's going to stop it. We'll hit OK, and there's our color. I'm going to move it down here. That's where I always put my colors. Alright, I love my little duplicating button. Duplicate, duplicate. And I'll duplicate one more and show you kind of how I do things. I actually do set these up 2 different ways. Alright, so this is going to be green. So we're just going to change this color to green on. I'm going to change this to par 1. I don't know why that says green 2. Just because I forgot to change it. But the reason why these are important are because when you click over here, you'll see the reds and the greens. It's not too complicated right now, but once you start adding, 5, 6 different groups, I'll show you why renaming these is so important. And it'll also save you a headache. And I'm in my music room doing all this blindly, so you as well can do that. Alright, so again, green, stop go, or play go, play stop, whatever. Play go, same damn thing. That changes our box to green because it's pulling that image. Now, for some reason, if a file gets corrupt or you lose that file, this image is going to give you an error and it will not show up. So keep that in mind. If you move a file around, you're going to have to remap everything. So best thing you can do is just not touch that file when everything's made. Again, par 1, blue 1. The 1 is just standing for par. When I do all these in a larger file, I actually have, hex 1 and hex 2 are my groups. And then it'll be like red hex 1, red hex 2, heads, red 1. I don't know why I said red 1, but it'll say red heads. I know that was kind of weird, or green heads. Same with my bars. It'll say bar or whatever bar or color, and then the name of the unit itself. Alright, so we're on green or blue. Hit OK. Alright, now you can do this 1 or 2 different ways. You can double click on it and it'll bring this up. And you can just click on here and then click part 2 and then your color, hit OK, and then just drag it over there. You can duplicate it, duplicate these, makes things easier, and then just change the association button with this. Now I will say once you do get this all set up and you're pretty sure it's set up, even looking at the little virtual screen that you have on the bottom, it is best to go ahead and go live. Make sure you're plugged into your rig or your lights or whatever you're using, and just double check that all the colors are working correctly. Alright, now we're also, I don't know why I did that. We're going to add actually 2 more buttons here. Just a second. This one I am going to do a custom name because this is going to tell me We'll do par 1. Do dead center. Color. Yeah, we don't want no color on it. But text is going to be white. We're going to do a width of 3, height of 1, and actually we're going to do no association. This is just a label, so even if you accidentally click on this box, it won't trigger or fire any command. Easy. Hit that minus button. There you go. And it goes away. And so if you want to keep all these in uniform, like say you did a custom font or something, like for example, you made your text, you know, a little bit bigger. You forgot how large that text was, so they all look fairly the same. You can just duplicate it, drag it down, double click, and change it to 2. I'm just going to drag these over. Alright, so this will give you individual groups. Now, if you ever paid attention to someone using MA software, you'll also see that they have another row above it. Sometimes it's labeled, sometimes it's not. And what that does is it triggers every light in the rig to do that color. So we're going to appropriately name this all. And I'll show you how to do this from actually 2 different ways. We'll go ahead and we'll duplicate one, and then we'll start one from scratch as well. Alright, so starting one from scratch again, we're going to omit all this one by one, and choose the file, go red. If I can say my ABCs, maybe I'd know where it's at. Red. Alright, an association. It's always going to default to the first group and the first scene. That's just how American DJ has their software set up. It's just get used to it. Alright, so this one's going to be red. So we're going to do par 1 red and par 1 red. Hit play stop. Hit OK. We're going to add another, and then we're going to go to par 2 and red 2. Play stop. Now this is where it comes in handy of knowing which ones are which. Here it's pretty simple. We're only working with 2 different units, but like I said, once you get multiple units, it gets a little bit more complicated, and then you're like, all right, did I do this one or not? And you can just check out by the side. All right, yes, I did that one. Yes, I did that one. Happy with it? Hit OK. I'll drag and drop. And then if you just did one from your duplicating, just change your image to whatever color. And then if you hit this button over here, you can edit that assignment. Go to part, hit OK. And so this one, it's already par 1 is on there, blue, so par 3, blue, and there's actually 3 ways right now, as you can see, that we did that. Alright, so I'm just going to move this up here, just for now. We're going to escape out of here so we can have our full view, and we will go back out of edit mode. So now, when you click, so you can put a fade on here if you want, or you don't have to. So now when you click on your top of all, it'll be that color, all your units. Very quick shortcut, very great for changing live on the fly if you don't have, a track made for that song or something. And then, say you start off the track off in green or something, and then you want it to go to blue, another section, then you can hit that. And so if you kind of see, it kind of works similar as far as Grand MA does. I'm not saying it is Grand MA, but as you can see, when I click on this green here, watch this green box up here. You see kind of a faint shadow come around it. That'll tell you all these are on. Now, what I was talking about of there not being a technically an off image that I can put on here, maybe someone can help me out. If you know, comment down below, tell me how to do it. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But as you start doing more groups, all these boxes are going to become different colors. So what I do, I'll just even show you right quick. All right, this group, we got everything highlighted as you can see. We're just going to change it blue. And we're just going to change this one to red. And again, this is just for demonstration purposes. And you will see in just a moment. Green 2. Alright, and even when you change the names in here, you go back over in here, the names will also correspond with it. Alright, now see how I changed the colors on there? Now those colors are changed to here. I wish we could do custom colors. That would be a really nice touch. But as of now, we cannot. There may be one in the new update. There may be not. But I haven't downloaded the new update yet because there may be bugs in it. And we got a couple shows coming up here, beginning of June. So I really want everything rock solid, nothing boogering up on the show. So another great thing this comes in to play is when you're doing your head positions. I'll show you later. But if you make a change in here, it's basically already mapping this button. So whatever changes you make to this button, it will change live. That's just one thing to keep in your memory. Alright, so what I do is I put all my rings on red. Now it does kind of hard to see on the red, but every other color it does pop out. I wish I could do white, but then again on the white you wouldn't see it. So I guess it's just kind of pick and choose your battles, although I do think the white would make it pop and be easier to see. Alright, so let's head over. I'm not going to save this, it's just a demo file. Let me open save changes. No. Alright, so let me head over to here, open this up, and I'll show you where, again, making sure those names are very important to labeling. And I'll even show you another little tip I did with the moving heads, the colors on those. Cheers, folks. That's good. All right. So, there we go. So, as you can see, I got all my head positions here. Here, this is a home button. It's not necessarily the home head position button. That's what I have over here. I have the home and the 50-50 position set. But these, how I set up my home button is all the heads go to the home position. All the lights go to 0 color. And the dimmer, I actually keep the dimmer all the way up, but I have all the colors dropped to 0. And then I also have certain lights still on. So, you know, when the song's over, you know, the musicians on the stage can still see what they're doing. It's not complete pitch black, but it's dark enough where everyone's eyes that was adjusted to the bright lights can't really see that well. But, you know, it's kind of a safety thing. You really don't want to go pitch black on stage because, you know, there's cables, expensive equipment, my lighting stuff. Alright, so first tab I always put up is my I call it manual. You can call it whatever you want. But again, here's what I was talking about. And as you'll see, like I mentioned earlier, I don't label the colors over it because you can see the colors. The only 4 or 5 that are really labeled are these odd colors. The only reason I put the UV pink on here, it's because it's UV and red versus a RGB pink. And that's really the main difference between those. Coral is just UV and amber on, I think, maybe not. and then UV. And again, the only reason I labeled UV is because I use basically this colored purple. I think I did. I don't know. But, so, as you can see, so I click white, all these turn on. I haven't gotten this far yet down here. Red, amber, gold, yellow, lime, green, C, cyan, light blue, blue, purple, magenta, UV, pink, pink, coral, UV, and off. And again, you can select all your colors that you want. Well, that one was pointless, but you can do some crazy stuff. The VPARs and the tri-strip are the only ones that will have the warm white next to them. Just because those are pretty much the only lights that do shine on any of the members. The rest of them just wash the stage. And so, alright. Now here's one thing I really want to get to is the heads and the colors. So, wrong thing. Wrong key command. Hit escape. Now if you see, I went ahead and, gosh dang it. Now if you see, I went ahead and created all the head colors. We got, you know, what all my heads will do. And the reason for that is for two reasons actually. Is so I can get my color splits in there, as you can see, and I'll show you why in just a second. And I failed to show you, but I did go ahead when I edited those and put the dimmer at full. So if we go ahead and say we want to add the color of a head, maybe if I hit add, there we go. Alright, you can do a little bit of a shortcut and go to presets, your heads that you're using, you'll click on color wheel and then the color. But here's part of the issue. It says color mix, but it only goes to one preset color split. So you cannot access your color splits under here. And you can do your clockwise and counterclockwise rotation color rolls, but as you see, I did that as well. Color scroll fast, slow, medium, and slow. So again, no use for that. And plus, if you're, darn computer, that's another good thing. I notice sometimes my computer likes to do weird stuff and not work properly, and sometimes it causes the software to crash. I don't know if that's a software issue or my computer issue. However, I was running MA on PC for about 3 hours and some training, no problems at all, and I was doing lots of crazy stuff. And again, there was no output, and the same with 3.0, there's no output, but sometimes it will randomly just crash on me. So that little screen that you're seeing with a little loading bar, that is your best friend. It's a 1 minute save feature. After every 1 minute, it will save. It can be very annoying, but it's worth the headache of having to do everything all over again. Trust me, I know. Alright, and back to the presets. If you click on, the color wheel in red, it's just going to put the color wheel to red. So you'll have to physically bring the dimmer and the shutter up as well. I mean, you can do it all this way and have it like a 3-step process, but to me that's just more clicking and dragging when I can just do it in the front side of the programming. I'll just cancel out all that. Oh, but I will show you, if you do decide to use that, excuse me, it does give the color that you're working with. Hit OK. See, it does give you a color box, and that's just a preset that the software does. Now, unfortunately, because you can see it's pulling from a library, now I could probably track down in this library and find it, you know, what I'm looking for and whatnot. But I just decide to do it this way, because if something goes wrong in the light show, I know exactly where I can track it down versus having to go through 3 steps. I can just look at one quick overview page. And this here is another thing that's a little bit set up differently, is how I got these set up. I got the color splits in between. Yes, I know they don't perfectly align with these columns here, but that's just something I just thought was a little bit easier. So, you know, if I can see that, you know, it's highlighted yellow and I wanted to add a little extra color in there, I could bump it one way or the other. Again, you set it up how you want. And then the off button, how I have it programmed on my heads, is it just shuts the dimmer off, because there is no turning the color wheel off. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you could go to white, and some will argue white is a color and is not a color. That's a discussion for another day. But all I have this off button programmed as is just a dimmer to turn off. And I do have everything, I think, was it a 1 second fade? It's just like the factory. The color wheel I don't have set to any fades, because I just want it to get there as quick as possible. And it's going to do that regardless. I guess I have like a 3 second fade set to everything. I guess that's good enough. And then this here's another good button to have, is your fade. Some songs you want to jump to a color quick, that's cool. You can hit that or hit your MIDI assigned button and it'll jump to that color immediately, or you can hit it and it'll just slowly fade. So I think that's going to cover today's video. Trying not to make it too long and drawn out and boring, but like I said, you can kind of see my overview here. If you watch down in my overview map, you'll see, you know, everything changing to its assigned color. Yes, these look like they're strobing, but they do not on the actual rig itself. It's just an odd programming thing that they did. Now you'll probably be noticing, though, I'm hitting these and all these are changing, but nothing's selected here. It's because I just haven't gotten to programming this bottom section. So yeah, here probably soon I'll go over how I set up my head positions and some other special things that I do. Can't give away all my secrets now.